Hello, well today I want to talk to you about another case that impacted on the rescue culture. A very important case that shows how there's a link between the rescue culture and employees. And the case is the 1994 decision in Powdrill and Watson. So that's Powdrill and Watson, 1994 square brackets 2 BCLC 118, and this is eventually of course a House of Lords authority. Why was this case important? Well, it's a conjoined appeal which involves the question of whether or not office holders who are insolvency practitioners in the nature of, on the one hand, receivers and on the other hand administrators. So we have administrative receivers and administrators, both of whom at House of Lords level have sections 19 and 44 of the Insolvency Act 1986 queried in relation to whether or not those office holders had adopted contracts of employment. And specifically, it's contracts of employment of employees who were working for the business whilst it was in administrative receivership or administration, whilst some form of rescue was being mounted. And a widespread practice had built up whereby, as a result of judgment of Mr. Justice Jeremiah Harman in re-specialised mouldings, that office holders would issue within the 14-day period of potential adoption pursuant to sections 19 and 44, letters, specialised mouldings letters, to the employees, which would say that that office holder had not adopted their contract of employment and all that came with it during that period, and after, of course, the 14 days. The effect of this was to cause the IP, the office holder, to not be liable for that contract of employment, for it to fall within the costs of the procedure so as to rank above other creditors. This, of course, would be problematic for the rescue culture, for example, if it was administration that we were dealing with. So eventually, Mr. Justice Harman's judgment in re-specialised mouldings, of course, reaches the House of Lords in Powdrill and Watson, where the law lords hold that that practice built up was one that was problematic, and that the letter, specialised mouldings letter, was nothing more than a house built on shifting sands, and shifting sands which usurp the functions of and protections of sections 19 and 44. As a consequence, IPs, of course, became personally liable, could no longer use these specialised mouldings letters to escape liability. This put a huge spanner in the works of the rescue culture because, of course, IPs didn't then want to become involved as either administrators or administrative receivers where they'd be personally liable for contracts of employment. This area was somewhat resolved there, and the rescue culture was saved somewhat by the Insolvency Act 1994, the effect of which we will discuss, as well as Powdrill and Watson, in tutorials. So until then, I bid you goodbye. Goodbye.